Fine. Uh, okay. So what we were saying that we want to extract we want to extract the numbers from here. So we can extract tool is the right tool for us in this case. But you may have another question. Okay. But looking at this data, do you think that only extracting the numbers will give me the correct value of the store size? Can you?
No.
Yes, correct. So why? Because we have the different units, right? We have the different units, square meter and cubic meter, right? And we have to get it right, right? So that part we are going to see in the later sessions, that how you can using different how you can get the how you can multiply some numbers with with this, right, with the numeric value, or how you can add something based on some condition, right? So all of these things you will see in the later sessions. Fine. But here, what we are just concerned about is to clean our data, and how we can get the data, how we can get the only numeric values from here, right? So the option is just click on this column and go to extract, and we have different extract option, right? So here in this case, the option, the suitable option is to use the text delimiter. Use the delimiter, and before delimiter, whatever we have the numeric values. So even if it is different, numbers, we have the different digits, that doesn't matter. Okay. The length doesn't matter here, because we are just using the delimiter, and space is our delimiter. And if we have some issues with the data, like, okay, somewhere we don't have the delimiter, or for some of the cell value, right? There we may have some issue, and we have to correct it, using again something else. Once we have done it, and still it is not, we have some issues with the data, we can apply some other tool, like replace tool, or some other tool, right? So in this case, we are just going to extract the numeric value, and so we want to just get the text before delimiter. So here you can see we have this option, before delimiter and space is the delimiter. We have advanced option also. So if we want to suppose some data we have where we want to just ignore the first delimiter, we want to get the next delimiter, we'll see in the next one. Okay. Next example. So here what we are just going to do, we are just going to get the data before the delimiter. And what delimiter we have here? Space. So we are just getting the numeric values, right? Now you can see, if I change it to numeric type, whole number, because it's a size, store size, and we have all the size in whole number, so that's fine. Now if we just go to our visualization, we can see that this got changed, and also here the store size got changed. Now this is numeric type, and we'll see the various options available in this case. Now you can see that we have the sum, we have other options, we have minimum, minimum, and all the options whatever we have for aggregating, the numeric values. Now we can get the sum, and this is giving me the store size in different city, right? But our aim is to get the store size in a state, right? We want to get the store size in a state. So what we can do, let's just see here that we have, now we have here in this case, we have state abbreviation and city. We want to extract the state from here, right? So what we can do, we can, if we just want to extract this state, so we can just go again and get the extracted, state extracted from here, right? So what we want to do here, we want to get the state, and we can get the state abbreviation, state code, or state abbreviation, and we can get it using the uh, delimiter. Okay, text before delimiter. Or if we just want to get the few characters, okay, here two characters will give us the state code, so we can get the first two characters, right? And it will give us the state code only, first two characters. And you can see that it is extracting. Okay, we have, okay, I think we have chosen the wrong column. So we have to choose here, right, this one, and we want to get the first two characters. And you can see here the two characters we have just extracted, and so easy, right? This is, and here now you can see that we have got the state, at least the state code, right? And you can now see that your data will be in the state. Now everything will, now you can see you have your, you have got your data state wise, fine. And I am getting so much of issues today, network issues. Fine. Uh, so we have just seen how we can get the state. So based on our, requirement, right? We have to get our data correct. So we can just do further. Even we can do further cleaning on this data, right? And that can be, what that can be. We can have, here you can see we have the, now we have got the state and state abbreviation, but we are losing the other information. If we are just using the extract function, right, we are losing the other information. So what we could have done, we could have just got like we could have duplicate this column maybe three times, because we have three different information, right? We could have duplicate this column, and we could have got the three part of the information, like, okay, this one we could have just got the first two characters, okay, extracted. What we could have done, first two characters we just want to extract, right? And this way the first two characters got extracted, and similarly we could have got the second one, right? And here the extract function, we could have used the text between delimiters, right? So text between delimiters for the second part, like a state abbreviation, we want to get the state abbreviation. And what we would just do that, start with this delimiter and end with this delimiter. So what is the middle part, right? Whatever is the middle part, we just want to get that part. So you can see that middle part, state abbreviation part, we are just getting it, right, from here. So if you wanted to, with the advanced option, if you wanted to also go for some, skip, right? You want to skip the first, maybe the first delimiter, and start from the second delimiter only. So you could have also skipped that part, right? So now that is, we have just got the state abbreviation, and in case of city, right? We want to just we want to also get the city information. So what different option you could have used? You could have used text after delimiter. Text after delimiter. So after the, you want to here, what is the delimiter? This delimiter, and you want to skip the first delimiter, right? You want to skip the first delimiter, and in this case, you can see it will, you will get from after the next delimiter. Whatever is the text is there, you will get the information after the next delimiter. So you have skipped the first delimiter, and now you have just got the city information, right? But this is a hard way, right? This is, you have to work a lot on the on this case, right? Because you have to create different duplicate columns, and you have to also rename all those. Okay, that's fine. Rename you have to anyhow you have to do, but you have to create duplicate columns. You have to apply the extract functions in each case, right? So this is a hard way. What other tool we have to get this data correct is the other method is to get this data to get this data is the split function, right? A split column tool. Here we have the split column tool, and what we can do with this split column tool, just select this, right? And you can just check the split column tools. And here also we have the different options to get the split column, to get the column splitted into different part, right? So here the option, the suitable option is to use the delimiter, split the column using the delimiter, right? And other options also we have. What we have this option called by number of characters, right? And by positions. So all of these different options you have. So you can just try all of these different options. Okay. What we are just going to do is we just going to see by delimiter, right? We want to split the uh, column, fine. And what we are saying that each occurrence of it of the delimiter we want to split the column. And what is the delimiter? This delimiter we have the hyphen delimiter, fine. Now we just using that, and this column we want to just split the column, right? So using that we can just split our column into three part. Okay, I think we have just we need to just check. Okay, what we may have given is we have just, let's see, and by delimiter. Okay, each occurrence of each delimiter, fine, and in advanced option. Okay, number of columns to split into three columns. Okay, fine. Split into three columns. This is fine. And each occurrence, this is fine. And let's see, we want to just give space, the first space, then hyphen, space, then hyphen, then space. Fine. And each delimiter, right? And here we can just see that now it is giving us the correct one. Okay. So what we have just seen that we this delimiter we have used is there was a space, then hyphen, then space. So if we just use that delimiter, it is correctly identifying all of the different parts, right? And it is splitting at one go, right? We don't have to create the duplicate column, and then we don't have to split that way, right? So this is very easy way. State code, we can just have the state code info, right? And here we have the state information, state name. So you can just rename it, right? States, and here this is the city. So now this you can see that how easily we can get this data splitted using the split column, right? So similarly, we have this info here, right? Latitude and longitude information, and this is required to latitude and longitude is very helpful in visualizing your data in your visualizing your data in a map. Okay, latitude and longitude information will create your map and map your city information, because this latitude and longitude is belonging to the city. So we'll map this city, okay, onto the map. Fine. So we want to also split this information latitude and longitude. So how can we do that? Can you suggest me? Like, okay, we want to use the split function. That's fine. So, using this split, what is this delimiter here? See, you can see this delimiter is not identified. Okay, not identified uh, automatically, but previous case it was identified automatically. So this may be also a case that it may not get identified automatically. Fine. Uh, but in this case, what is the delimiter we have? We have the delimiter slash, right? So we can just give here also space and slash then space, right? This is space slash and space. So we can just get it split it into two different parts, right? And this is so easy, right? This is very easy. So do you have any question till now? Anyone, any question? Yeah. So am I audible?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
audible.
Okay, fine, fine. Right. Okay, so now what we have our data splitted. We have our data now available, right, in the right format in this. And what we have to do also, we have to get our data. We have to get all the informations in the correct format, data type, right? So these are fine. So this is, we have already converted to number type. This is fine. So the second, once you get the text and all these informations correctly, right, you have to also change it to the correct correct format, right? The data type. So this is again the number type, numeric type, decimal number, right? This is also the decimal. This is also the decimal. So yeah, so this is all these are done. So we can just have it saved. Fine. Okay. Now you can. Okay. What did we get? What has happened? State city. Okay, fine. So what is saying that we had used a column, right? Call that, and this column is not available right now. We have to use the correct column. That is, now we have the state, right? So we can use the state column, right? And now we have the correct store size available for all the states. Fine. That's we have just got our store size for different states, right? What next we are going to see is we are going to see some text operation on our columns. Fine. So for that, I'm just going to get another data set. Fine. This product maybe. Let's see. Now what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to get the different data source. Okay. This is AdventureWorks and AdventureWorks data. We will be working on mostly the AdventureWorks data. Fine. So I'm just going to get the AdventureWorks data. Fine. So this is number type, and the other way to get, I don't know whether I have told you this, right? We can get all of the data type, right, identified by Power BI as the correct data type using this transform and detect data type, right? You can just select all of the column together at once, right? Just press the shift button, select this and press the shift button and select the last one, last column, right? And that way you will be able to selecting all the columns, and now you just detect the data type and it will detect automatically all of the data type correctly. Okay. And if some of the data type is not correct, right, not correctly identified, you can just go to that individual column, and you can set the data type yourself. Okay, the correct data type yourself. So in some cases maybe key columns, many people keep it as string, and keeping this in uh, numeric type, right, integer type is better because of efficiency, memory. You take less space when you have your data in integer format, right? And it take more space when you have this data in string format, right? String data type. So yeah, and space is very, here memory is one of the factor for performance also, right? While you have the data in memory, so it will consume your memory unnecessarily. So you can also just use this kind of practice, right? You can have this practice always, that you can keep the key column, but the demerit is uh, accidentally or unknowingly you may use this such a way that it aggregates the data, and you should not aggregate your key columns anywhere, right? You should not, you can only use these key columns only for count. You can get the count, but you cannot add all the key columns, right? The numbers you cannot add for some purpose, right? So that is not advisable. Yeah. So the thing is, now we are just going to get another data set. Let's see. Mm, we have just inserted the sales information for 2016. Let's get the other data sets. Fine. And here we want to get the product information.
I mean,
Yeah.
can you explain the first row? The data is there valid, error, empty.
Okay. I think we had already explained this one in the first session. Okay. Let's see. Fine. This is the quality check of your data. Okay. This first row, right? This here you are seeing the color, right? Ribbon. There's one strip, right? So this is giving you the information on the quality of your data. Fine. And this valid error empty, we have just enabled this one for checking the quality. You can also turn it off. Okay. You can, if you want to check, okay, you have got your data very first time, and you want to check the quality of your data, you can enable it, and you can check, okay, how many errors we have in this column, okay, how many empty cells we have in this column, right? And how many valid data we have in this column, right? All these informations you will be able to see about your column here in this column quality information, right? And also, even if you don't have this, right? If you don't have those information, you will be able to see that in this color ribbon, okay, in this strip you can see that we have 94 rows, 94 values, right? And 100% data is valid, then 0% error and zero empty value cells is there, right? So we know now that we have the correct information now, required information. If somewhere we have, suppose somewhere we have the data which is not at all correct, okay, which is not giving me, the data will have some, is having some error, or maximum data is empty. So we have already seen all these things in the previous session. sessions. Okay, so you can refer those sessions recordings. Okay, and then you will be able to understand it properly. So only thing is, these all these co- column quality information, this is giving the quality information about your column. Okay, quality information about your columns, and the number of cells, empty cells, number of errors, and all those things it is giving, right? uh, yeah, you can, we can connect it, if you want to. I think you have joined today only, right?
Right.
Okay, okay. So if you have, more, if you want to know more, we can connect it. We can connect later. Okay. But as we have already covered this, you can refer our recordings, previous class recording. So two classes already over. This is the third session, and yeah, we have already covered that, and don't want to repeat it in for you know to delay other learning. Okay, you can just go through the recordings, and any doubts you have, you can ask me. Okay, on my personal window. Fine,
Okay.
right? Yeah. What we Once we have got this data set, right? We have this product information. Now, the very first thing is what we want to do is we want to get the first two as headers. Fine. We have got the first two as headers. Now you are seeing this data. Fine. This data now, what we want to do with this data is we want to clean this data, and we can just see here that some of the product names, right? Product names are not, you can see the names are not in the not synchronized, or not in one format, right? Here you can see the data is init cap. Here you have the data name is starting from small, and also we are seeing some spaces, right? So we have to, if we have such data, right, how we can clean that data. You have all these options also in SQL, right? So whatever we have in SQL, structured query language, right? All those tools are also available here for the string data type, right? So what are the different things we can do here? We want to remove the space from the beginning, and from the end, right? We want to trailing and leading and trailing spaces, we want to remove. We want to make it init cap. Maybe all the names we want to start, all the word, right? We want to start it from the capital letter, right? Also you have more than that here. Let's see what are the different options we have in the text operations. Fine. uh, we can first, we want to remove the space from the starting. What you can do, you can just right click here. Okay, right click on the column, and you can see here you can also change the data type from this place, and also you have the transform option here. Based on the selection of your data type, the transform option will be enabled. Okay, now we have just selected the string data type, and all these transform options available here are these. Okay, we can we can change it to lowercase, we can change it to uppercase, capitalize each word, right? We can use trim, we can use all these different options, clean, and all these things, right? So what we can do is, now here you can see we can change it to lower, so easily change to lower. Fine. We want to, maybe we don't want to want to have this, because names always should be, each word should be capitalized, right? We can just make it each word capitalized. So now one thing we have got corrected, that is we have capitalized each word. The next issue we are seeing here is the space, the leading and trailing spaces, right? We want to just remove the space, and here transform, we can just trim it. So trim will remove the leading and trailing space. But still we see some issues with the data. Here we have some issues. So now on this issue, right? So we can remove the leading and trailing spaces using the trim, but we don't have any other option to remove the spaces from the from within the word, within the within the sentence. Okay, if we have some space, we don't have the capability to remove that, but we have the capability to remove the control characters, right? Tab character, or we have the next line character, right? So all these characters, we have the capability to remove those characters using the clean function. Here you can see there is a function called clean, right? This will remove all the control characters. But if you have some space, right? If you have some space, like two space, three space, within this word, within this string, so it is not possible using this usual tool from here. Okay. In that case, what you can do, you can go for more advanced technique, and you can use either R, or you can use the Python script to do all of these things, to change, to remove the spaces from uh, within the sentence, right? So you can do that using more advanced option. So we can also use Python. Okay, we can also use Python using Power BI. Fine. What are the different other options we have is, so we just have seen this transform, upper, trim. You can also get the length. Okay, so you want to get the length, so you can just do also that, right? So these are the few operations, text operations we have, and very easy operations, right? You can perform on the data, on the text, right? To clean, to remove the leading, trailing spaces, and all those things. Fine. The other two options we have not used, and I have also not used those two options. So I can just get you some information in. So if you want, so but I don't have any use of these two options. Okay, I have not seen and I have not used yet. So yeah, so these are a few operations we can, we have on the text fields, right? And now let's see on the numeric data, what are the different operations we have? Fine. Let's see what we have here. We have the product information. These are very basic. Okay, these are very basic. Tool. Okay, very basic things we are going to we are just applying. Fine. So here we have this data, numeric data. So if we want to transform this data, if you want to perform some numeric operations, right, you can just click the here, and you can check in the transform ribbon, and you see that we don't have the numeric operations enabled, right? Here number column, and we don't have many of these options enabled, and we have just statistics enabled just for counts, and also we don't have anything else, only the counts, right? So can you tell me why we don't have that those options enabled? In this case, we have this numeric data, right? These are numbers, right? But we don't have the tools, numeric tools enabled. Why that is so?
because the data type is string.
Correct. So because this data type is a string, right? And we have to get the correct data type. Fine. Then only we'll be able to apply the correct, means whatever related operations are there. So it will be enabled. So you should, by now, you should understand that Power BI is so intelligent that based on the data type, it is giving you many options. It is enabling many options, you know, for doing operations, for getting the charts, for many other things, right? It is enabling the different things, based on the data types. Fine. Now we can just directly, detect all the data types at once. So now you can see all the data types we have just got at once. But one thing you can see is this data type. These are all currency information, right? So we want to get this as currency fixed decimal number. So we can just replace these steps, and this is also, we can just replace this step. So this is so easy, right? Now, if we just if we just select this, right? And now you can see all of the options are available in the number column. Fine. What are the different operations you can do? Basic operations. So we will also see all of the advanced operations in in the DAX part, right? So whatever we have here now with this tool, right? All of these operations are just basic operations. Okay, these are not the all operations we are going to do, right? We have all the operations, advanced operations, everything using DAX. Fine. Column creations and all the things, getting complex calculations, so all of those will be using DAX. But here what we have only basic numeric and text operations. Fine. Now you can just see, we can add, multiply, subtract, divide, integer divide, right? Modulo, percentage, and percentage of, all of these we can apply on this column type. Fine. So, and this is, you can see that with the product cost, if we just want to increase the product cost 10% or something like that, right? We just want to increase this product cost 10% maybe. So, or 1 rupee or 2 rupee, we can just do that simple operation, and you don't see any other options available, right? With the add operations. Fine. So we can only have a simple operation. Maybe add 1 rupee per product, right? We can just add 1 rupee per product cost, right? Or we can just do, we can just increase, 10%. Maybe we can get the 10% multiply by 0.01, right? So 0.01. So this will give me the 10% value, 10% data, right? Only these different options we have here enabled. Fine. And we cannot even we cannot even sum two different columns. Fine. Here, so all of these different options you can see, and these all are very basic operations. Fine. And what happened? Okay. We have just changed the data type. I was thinking, what is it? So we are going to just see these and wind up the session. Let's change the data type. Fine. And we can just change this data type to fixed decimal and replace the current. Fine. Now we have all the operations available. So what are the different operations we were seeing? We were seeing this operation as we had seen the multiply. You can do the subtract of some numeric values. So all of these operations, divide by numeric data, integer divide, right? And modulo operations you can do, right, which will give you the reminder. And percentage, you can just calculate percentage of some data, and percentage of some other data, right? Like percentage of 100, what is the percentage of 100 is this data, right? So that way, these are just very basic operations you have here the numeric operations, right? All the other operations where we are going to add two different columns, or we are just going to do some complex calculations. So we are going to see all those things in the later sessions. Fine. And other than that, you have these trigonometry operations, sine, cos, and all these things you can calculate of this. So we are not going to see these things. As we round up, round down, we are also going to see these things in the later sessions. Fine. So yeah, that's all we have on the numeric operation and the text operation from this tool. Okay, and all the advanced operations we will be seeing in the later session. So, do you have any question till now? Any question? Okay.
Actually, I do.
Yes.
So when you cleaned the data from the first two examples you had, the two data that you cleaned,
Yes.
how did you save it? I didn't see how you saved it and moved on to the desktop and left the query.
Okay. Okay.
The
Okay.
query.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I should have told this before only. So here you can see. Once you go to this right home, and you can just close it. So once you close it, right, it is automatically applied. Fine.
Okay.
It is automatically applied, and you, if it is not applied, you can apply it yourself. Here option will be there called apply the changes, right?
Okay.
And those changes will be automatically applied. And now you once you say, now where is your data? Your data is in your memory. Okay, is in the memory in the repository of Power BI. Now the data is already imported, right? We are importing the
Okay.
data from our files. Okay, that's what we have done. We are only importing our data to Power BI in memory, and that will keep the data in compressed form. Okay, now the data is saved, and once when we save the report, right? When we save the report, we are saving this report in .pbix format. So this .pbix will include the data also in the file. Okay, in the file, and you can share this file with anyone, and the data will be available with this file, and you can analyze that data with the file. And if you want to have more data for these tables, so you need to also get those data, those tables, source information rightly pointed, right? And we have also seen like how we can change the source information and all. I think in previous sessions we have already seen that, but we can also see, okay, how we can change, how we can see that, how we can save how we can save the sources, how we can point the sources to the right, file, right source data information. So you can go to this transform. Here you can see. You can see here, right? And here you can see the data source settings options, different setting options. And you can see where from my data is coming. Okay. Similarly, you have to get the data source right, and connect it to the right source. Once you update your data source, right, that you can just refresh your connections, and data will be updated to the file. Okay, we'll see these things. Okay, refresh and all these things we'll see in the later sessions. Okay, but now whatever we are seeing, we are just seeing the initial cleaning activities, data pre-processing activities. So once these are complete, we'll go for the next advanced options, next advanced things. Fine. Any more question?
So when it's saved, it's saved in Power BI instead of your PC. That's what
No,
you're
no.
saying.
data is saved with the file, Power BI file. Okay, but this Power BI report will be saved in your desktop somewhere, right? But ultimately, you are going to publish it to Power BI service. So we'll see that thing later. Now this is saved in my local. I have saved the file here, right? And you can see the data I have saved here, and you can see some data is also available with this file, right? 406 KB of data. So that is the data where that data is with the Power BI, okay, repository. So it is attached to the Power BI repository, and wherever I send this file, that data will also go with this file. Fine?
Okay.
Yeah. Any more question?
Yes, sir. Can you share some data, means raw data, so we can practice?
Yeah. Actually, I have put it in the Google Drive, but I think I have not given you the access. That's where I missed it. Okay, I will add all of you for this. I'll give you access to that data set, and you can practice it. So I have got all your email IDs. I think only Gaurav has to send his email ID, and we can just add it. Okay,
Okay, okay,
fine.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So that's all I have for this session. So we'll meet tomorrow with the next operations. So data modeling, we'll start the data modeling from tomorrow, right? And today we have just seen all the basic operations till now, and more advanced operations we'll see in the later sessions. Okay.
okay, okay, okay. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Fine.